Hello guys and welcome back to the Heroes Hype Amateur Series. I am Gillyweed and I am joined by Inimical GG, who is having some internet problems, but he is back.
Yeah, I actually I had to do some finagling around, but I'm back and hopefully everything's going to be okay now. I have a really bad ISP. Like if you guys think you have a bad with Comcast at Time Warner, you guys don't even know what it's like in rural Pennsylvania. Most of the places here have like dial-up. That's how crazy it is.
Well, I am sorry to hear that, but I hope it will hold out because I know this next one is going to be a good one. We've got Fraud eSports and Lzuruha Gaming. It's going to be a best of 3 this time, which I am really pumped about, and the first game is going to be on Blackheart's Bay.
Very cool stuff. Did you invite me to the lobby? Are they drafting or what's going on?
I invited you. Did you?
I got it.
You again.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. We're solid. Solid.
All right, cool. Well, I think we are ready to, we're just about to get into this draft. Lzuruha Gaming and Fraud eSports, of course, 2 games that we see a ton in the Heroes Hype Amateur Series. And for this best of 3, guys, Inimical is going to join me for the first game, and then we're going to have Anna back for the second and hopefully third. So we will see her very soon. But until then, let's you and me do some casting. What do you think about Blackheart's Bay?
Let's you and I do some casting indeed. It'll be nice. I thought I really wanted to see that last match, but as far as Blackheart's Bay, great map. You can play 2 ways. You can just be really aggressive and push towers yourself, and then turn in the coins whenever you want, or you can just go so coin heavy where you're just constantly getting all the merc camps on the map and just staying away from your opponents as much as possible. So pretty awesome. Pretty awesome map. I like it. Most people, I think this is kind of one of the maps that people don't like that much, but I've always liked Blackhearts. It's always been a fun map to play. It's got like a Mario Party kind of feel to it, opposed to like the other maps, and I think that's why I kind of like it, honestly.
Yeah? All right,
Yeah.
well, we've just started the draft, so I'm going to pop over to that screen. And here we are in Blackheart's Bay. Lzuruha Gaming will have the first pick, first span. What kind of heroes do you like to play when you play on Blackheart's Bay?
Well, the other day I started playing Zeratul again. Zeratul's amazing on this map because it's just so, any cloaker and Nova as well. Like you can just go around and pick up coins as well. I'd rather have Zeratul over Nova, but yeah, like in team fights, you're just constantly running around the teams and they're not hitting you because they can't see you, and you just gather the coins as your opponents die, and that's a good pick for this map. Solo pushers like ETC, Sergeant Hammer, Zagara. Zagara is actually really good for this map now that I think about it, with her vision. So Sylvanas also good, and that's going to be the first ban that we're going to see here from Lzuruha.
Yeah, Sylvanas is awesome on this map. Of course, any map where your buildings are your health when it comes to the map mechanics, where they are sieging directly, the map mechanics siege directly onto your buildings, like this map with Blackheart throwing out cannonballs onto your towers and forts, and Sky Temple where you're throwing out laser beams or whatever it is. Anything where your team health really comes down to the structures and keeping your structures up. Sylvanas is really, really good, and so definitely an understanding ban there. Fraud eSports choosing to ban the Lost Vikings though, and I have to say I appreciate that ban.
Yeah, Lost Vikings, another. I mean, you asked me a question. There's so many heroes on this map that are like good for this map. Specifically, Lost Vikings good on basically any map, but on this map especially because you can always keep a guy in lane as your teammates are looking to get boss, looking to grab merc camps, looking to turn in. You're always generating that XP for your team, which you don't have with any other hero, with maybe the exception of Abathur. But I really doubt we're going to see Abathur here. So.
I have to tell you, I played Lost Vikings for the first time today on my stream in my grind to 5, and they were really tough to play. I was losing them left and right, but I still felt really cool when I would hop into a boat and just destroy people. That was really fun.
Yeah, I've seen actually Nick Hotz. I've seen his stream where he plays, so shout out to Nick Hotz, but I've seen his stream where he plays Lost Vikings, and he is insane with them. Like, he's constantly tri-laning with them, and he's like just constantly spamming each one and like grabbing XP, helping his teammates. It's just like really good Lost Vikings players are really, really dangerous.
Yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
and Tychus coming, Tychus and Vala for Fraud and Illidan for Lzura. So going straight for the DPSs for both teams right now.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that we didn't see, instead of Tychus, a Jaina. I feel like we've seen so many teams going for the Jaina Vala whenever they can possibly get them. But Tychus and Vala really good, and of course, I understand a lot of people like to take that Draken laser drill, especially versus an Illidan, and I'm guessing that that was some of the thought, at least, that they put into it when seeing that Illidan pick up.
Whose map pick was this? Because I didn't see in chat actually.
I don't know.
You don't know? All right, well, it doesn't matter. I mean, basically, where I was going with that is whoever picked this map, who if it was Fraud, they pick this map, they pick up Tychus. They might want to play on Sky Temple in like Game 3, right? Like, and play the laser again because it's another really good map that Tychus' laser is really good on. So, and actually,
Yeah.
there's your Jaina that you just mentioned for Lzura.
Yeah, so Lzruha will pick up Jaina, and with Illidan and Jaina, they are going to be dealing a ton of damage, and now it just comes to keeping them alive, which they are well on their way to doing with a Rhaegar. We saw the power of Rhaegar last game, especially in all of the Ancestral Heals that went down on Diablo with the Lightning Breath. Woo, that was a ton. But we'll have to see if they'll choose to follow it up with another sort of half support, or if they're going to say, okay, we've got Rhaegar, and we're going to make that work.
Yeah, on Fraud's side, they're probably going to want to grab Uther here to deny the Uther Rhaegar, which used to be like a huge thing in the meta. We used to see both Uther and Rhaegar get banned a lot on the EU and NA side of things.
You mean
So
picked?
Fraud, no, like they were picked and then they were initially just like constantly banned out for a few weeks, is what I mean. So like Brightwing, there you go. Oh man, Gilly loves Brightwing.
Had to post a little emote there in chat. I do love my little fairy dragon so much, and of course she's amazing on this map. Global map presence here is really good as you have lots of different camps that you're trying to take and different places that you want to push, and this is really a map where you want to kind of be everywhere at once, and thankfully Brightwing allows you to do so. Another great one for that is ETC, and I really bet that we see him here as well because he can take that stage dive and just the same thing. But Fraud Esports not picking him up. They've instead decided to go with the Diablo grab, and I can't blame them, especially after last game.
Yeah, honestly, it'll be interesting to see if they go for Tyrande or if they're like picking Diablo here to force Lzura to take Tyrande away from them. Maybe a little mind gamey here. I don't know. Both teams drafting fairly well. Lzura, they're gonna need a tank. Having a Zagara, as I said earlier at the beginning of the draft, Zagara is great on this map. Her creep tumors allow you to get ridiculous amounts of vision around the turn-ins, around the chest spawns, around top lane and boss. So excellent pickup here, and now they're going to need a tank. So I'm with you here. I think ETC is the pick. ETC, Diablo are like the standard tanks that are picked now. Both are amazing. Both have their different utilities. ETC has that global map presence and the solo push, and there he is. So it'll be interesting to see if they pick up like an Uther or Tyrande here. What are you thinking?
I think that they would do well with a Tyrande. I was actually surprised. I mean, I think that it would have been really beneficial for Lzruha to grab Tyrande because, of course, the Hunter's Mark and Jaina together, as well as the stuns for Illidan to jump on, are really good as well. But actually, I love the Zagara pick too. It's all going to, of course, the Maw into different things like a mosh pit or stage dive too can be really, really deadly. Just as much as we see, the Maw into the Apocalypse. But Fraud Esports going to go with Malfurion, so two full-on supports, really focusing on, as much as I can tell, the sustainability. We might see an Emerald Wind or a Silence, maybe a Twilight Dream. What do you think? Or you think both of them will go with the healing ultimates?
With an Illidan and a Jaina, I think you've got to go both heals. I'm not really a fan of Emerald Wind. I mean, I'd rather have Twilight Dream if you're going to take one or the other over the two. Like, I'd take Twilight Dream over. I'd rather have the Blink Heal, Blink Heal Twilight Dream combo. But I think we should see like a Blink Heal and
Tranquility.
Thank you. I had the other one in my head and I just blanked. But yeah, Tranquility and Blink Hill, it's what we should see given that there's a lot of damage with the Zagara, Jaina, Illidan, and even ETC who does really good damage for attack. And Rengar too does some really good damage as a melee healer as well.
Yeah.
So
We'll have to see. We are just taking a quick break. I think there's a quick bio break from these teams. Then we'll be getting into it. Any thoughts on any of these heroes, specifically on Blackheart's Bay? You've talked a little bit about Zagara. Any other ones you really like for Blackhearts?
Well, I mean, you had mentioned ETC. I think ETC is a good pick on this map. It'll be interesting to see. The one thing that is interesting is Fraud eSports going right for that Vala instead of taking Jaina right away, which is kind of like an older style. But since Jaina's been buffed since that patch now, like what it's been like over a month or something, she's just way more viable as a damage. I mean, Vala is still good. Don't get me wrong, but like Jaina's probably the best DPS in the game right now, I would say. So I don't know. I mean, honestly, this is really just they've got a few heroes that are good on this map. Not like all of the ones that I had mentioned before the draft had started, but I think even the teams are fairly even. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. But I think Twilight Dream and Emerald Win, either one or the other, I think is probably a mistake. And I think Fraud needs to go heavy sustain here because there's going to be a lot of hero damage coming out from Lzuruha.
Yeah, it definitely. Lzuruha has more of the damage, but for sure Fraud has more of the sustainability. And we are loading into this game. Don't forget, guys, this is a best of 3, so this will not be the only game between these two teams that you see tonight. And of course, we have the potential to see 2 more, as we could definitely go to that 3rd game. I don't know if we've seen Fraud for sure in the last couple, but I don't know if I think we've seen Lzuruha in the last couple as well. So it'll be really cool to see these teams go head to head and who will move on to the round of 4.
I'm just chatting with the admins, giving my apologies for having bad internet, because I do.
Well, in the blue, we have Fraud eSports with Lex Uther on Malfurion, Kiefer's on Diablo with that Battle Beast. What is that? Just kidding. Anxiety Lol, who is playing Vala. Bella Morte is playing the Infested Tychus style points there. And How is going to be on the Brightwing.
And with Lzuruha, we are going to see, wow, I can't even say that, Pirate Rum?
Pirate Rum.
Pirate Rum. Ellen Illidan, a Maid on Rhaegar, Evandrin on Jaina, Spearbeck on ETC, and Jake Herbs on Zagara.
It looks like for now we've got 4 and 4 up here at the Vision Tower, but not really engaging into it fully yet. They're actually just manor hanging out together, the 2 tanks. That's pretty cool, and not often do you see that. Keeper's gonna go in, maybe gonna try to get a throw there. Doesn't quite do so, but we saw what they were trying to set up with a throw into those roots. Keeper's throwing just a little bit late though and taking a lot of damage from Jaina's. Blizzard is going to leave, have to tap a well, and soon we'll see the first chest spawning.
Yeah, and interesting setup there, having Brightwing go top and putting Tychus in the bot lane there. Probably if they were going to take a fight seriously, they might have wanted to switch there, but they ended up not losing anybody, so it's not that big of a deal. Plus, they're going to have Tychus bottom here to be able to clear out that chest pretty fast. And he'll be able to deal with Zagara to some extent, although he might actually go down here with the Hydralisk. He's almost dead.
Yeah, Zagara is so commanding with her minions that she was able to take out no problem Tychus, but actually stepping back a little bit from Brightwing, surprising, is going to lose the rest of those coins. So for the most part, almost all of the coins went to Fraud eSports there.
Yeah, Zagara only able to pick up 1, but Illidan's going to come down now and give a little hand with Zagara, but he will rotate away now. Most likely going to join his team mid again, or maybe he's going to get really crazy here and try and solo camps at level 2, but he's actually going to join his team mid and see if he can get some work done.
We do see the Brightwing going head-to-head with the Zagara on bottom. That way she can always teleport in at any time with her team if she needs to. Bellamorte hopping in here, throwing down some damage on Lzuruha, but not really too much, just trying to keep the lanes pushed. If you can get some damage on one of the turrets in mid lane, take it down to about, I think it's about half, a third to half, then that will guarantee that with your first turn in, you will actually pick up the fort. And so teams always try to head for that as much as possible, but if you can get the turn in, you never want to deny it at the same time.
Yeah, you definitely want to keep your eye on it for sure, especially when you lose that many coins right away. I mean, they only have one, so it's going to be easy for Fraud to get a turn in here if they decide to go for it.
So we have level 4 talents for both teams. Fraud just a little bit ahead, but not so bad. Fraud picking up 2 protective shields. So not only did they grab 2 full-on healers, but they also picked up 2 protective shields. So you're right on the money, going super sustain heavy here. They just want to outlast their opponents, and they're putting a lot of damage on this tower up top. Gonna have to back up here. Spurbeck trying to throw Lex Uther out a little bit, but thankfully Mouth's able to get away. Not known for having a lot of escape, that Mouth.
No, the root does definitely help for sure, but you know, it's kind of like it's not really that great for escaping, right? Like if you have to use it to escape, you do, but you use it, but you really don't want to because it's not that effective for escaping. It can help you for sure, but and now we're gonna see the throw from Keepers here, and they actually might get ETC.
Yeah, great root was there and ready to pick up whoever Keepers through, and does pick up the ETC there, so they will get, I believe that was first blood, and now they're putting some damage here on that tower.
Yeah, having the Mouth there to heal Vala and Diablo as Diablo tanks that, they're going to get their first turret. And any structure you can get in this game on this map rather, before you turn in is actually huge. The more structures you get down before you turn in, the more work the cannons can do to your forts or to your opponent's forts or keeps. So definitely want to push kind of hard on this map if you have the option to.
Man, Illidan is just kind of running around unchecked. He's picked up so many of the little pirate camps. He even stole the bruisers, the forward bruisers that were on the side of Fraud Esports, and Brightwing even has bribe and got her own giant stolen out from under her. I think I said bruisers there, but I meant giants. And here's the next round of chests up top. Lzuruha is going to be able to pick that up. Meanwhile, on bottom, Jake Herps is picking up all of those as well, taking some damage from Bellamorte, but not really stopping her from picking up all of those coins. So, wow, Illidan really setting up, grabbing a lot of coins.
Yeah, and actually Zagara managed to get, I think, all 5 from that chest. But, so, this is actually a point on this map where you see both teams have a lot of coins, and we're going to see them try and contest the turn in here. Like, one team is going to want to turn in eventually. They may be waiting, both of them, for level 10, which is not necessarily a bad idea, but someone needs to be watching the turn in, and no one is, and actually you're going to see that turn in hit for Lzuruha first.
Yeah, Illidan was doing a great job too of every time he picked up a couple of coins going and turning them in. So they had a good bank set up, and that helped them not try to have everybody turned in, and that really meant that Fraud didn't really think that they needed to watch it fully because they saw heroes out on the map, but they just had one person who kept slowly picking up coins, turning them in, picking up coins, turning them in, and now they're even going after these bottom bruisers. Bellamorte sees it, but the rest of his team is totally across the map, and they're going to be able to pick it up no problem.
Yeah, the scout came a little bit too late on there, on those bruisers. If it was a little bit earlier, Brightwing may have been able to come down and interrupt, or at least delay the take on those bruisers for more members of Fraud to rotate down. But actually, it looks like Zagar's going to go down here. So, good gank there on Fraud's part. They definitely need that, having missed that first turn-in block.
They were able to pick up 3 coins from that as well, and they secured their heroic abilities. They grabbed the laser drill just like we thought, with Rain of Vengeance, Tranquility, and Emerald Wind, and a lightning breath for the Diablo.
Yeah, and actually for Lzuruha, we're seeing Metamorphosis, Ancestral, Water Elemental, Stage Dive, and Devouring Maul, which is it's an interesting choice. On this map particularly, Stage Dive is probably the better choice, but when you have a Maul, doing a Maul into a Mosh Pit Wombo combo is pretty amazing.
Yeah, so. It really is. But you can also maw and then stage dive on top of the maw once people are out to slow them down, because it kind of pulls them right in to a spot too. So, and stage dive, of course, just is so helpful on any map where you've got to go a large distance fairly quickly. Even I've seen some really good uses of it, stealing the boss when your opponents are trying to take it. So Lzuruha are waiting at the turn-in. They definitely want to secure the next one. They have 15 between the 3 of them that are there alone, and the rest of the other 2 just seem to be pushing lanes, but it seems to be like Fraud may be looking at this top 4.
Yeah, I don't know if they're... Brightwing's gonna be able to do some damage. The Bruisers actually here are most likely gonna... They're gonna be able to get that top fort, which is...
Oh, Jaina getting rooted, and then Rain of Vengeance, but Ancestral Heal will keep her alive, and there we go. A Maw goes down, there's the Lightning Breath. Takes out Illidan very quickly. Brightwing is down 2. There goes ETC and Diablo. Still 2 for 2 on both teams, but Rhaegar is very, very low. Whereas we're really seeing the power now of Brightwing plus Malfurion. Everyone is much more healed on Fraud eSports side, although Anxiety took a bunch of Banelings to the face, plus some frozen damage, frost damage, I should say, from Jaina. So 3 for 3. 3 teams, 3 heroes on both sides were kept up after that engagement.
Yeah, Fraud is going to secure the level 13 talents first, which is going to just give them a little bit of an intimidation factor for a short amount of time. Unfortunately, they don't really have enough coins to turn in here and secure another cannon, but they might actually just turn in the 5 that they do have, just to kind of get them off of the map so that way they can't fall into the hands of their opponents.
Yeah, they're hanging out here around the turn-in, but Bella's about halfway on both health and mana. So they're going to back up just a little bit. They really want to make sure that their whole team is there wherever they're going to engage, and they're actually going to push on bottom. Meanwhile, all of Lzuruha is trying to chase down this poor Brightwing. Oh no, how? Why? Going to get taken out very quickly. But on bottom, only Zagara is here to try to stop this push from Fraud. And I'm surprised we're not seeing Lzuruha come down here. They actually were kind of indecisive there for a moment, but now they're going to go after the top fort and just trade forts.
Yeah, and they have 9 coins on them now, and now the chest spawns, so they will trade the fort. They're probably going to go right for that top chest. Looks like Fraud's going to meet them there, but unfortunately, probably not a good idea for them to engage directly as virtually... Oh, actually, no. Now Fraud's going to rotate up to stop this, anticipating that the rotate would come from Lzuruha, and the Ancestral goes down on Illidan, unfortunately just going to get burned, as Illidan will go down immediately after.
Yeah, that was such a quick burn. Couldn't really jump away because he was polymorphed too. That was an awesome polymorph on him. He couldn't really do damage, couldn't jump around, couldn't run away, just died. And the next turn-in is going to go to Fraud. They're going to try to just murk up as much as they can, push lanes. The turn-ins can always buy you some time, and you really want to take advantage of that time you have by trying to push back lanes or catch merc camps like they're doing here. Let's see, Lzuruha's jumping in. They miss picking up the bruisers, but there is the stage dive and a ton of damage from Jaina. But the Emerald Wind does push back Jaina and Rhaegar quite a bit, and nobody yet has died quite yet, but the healing for Fraud eSports means that they want to keep fighting. They're still completely healthy. Illidan is jumping around. He's got Vala pretty low on health and mana. She probably won't have enough to vault, actually, and Bella is really low, too. Both of them so incredibly low, but Bella will get away for now, and I cannot believe that nobody in that entire fight died.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane. I was waiting for your cast to just, like, topple over, like, once people started going down, and it never happened because no one got killed. Like, that was insane. And they actually have a huge minion wave now pushing bot because that fight was so long over those minions that were coming up for Fraud. So they ended up losing some minions during all of that as well.
Did you... I'm guessing that those supports just had to be sweating. Because did you see how close, like, Bella was to dying? they had the assassins on both sides were so low both times. I am just so amazed that nobody died there.
Yeah, that was like I thought for sure like the dominoes were just gonna fall, and it just did not happen. Like that was a really good engagement, and kind of speaks to the skill on both sides to not lose anyone there, because that fight was just absolutely ridiculous. And so many players on both sides were low. We saw some clutch polymorphs come in. We saw Illidan just all up in the face of Fraud. Like, just an awesome team fight. Like, that's one for the highlight reels, even though no one died.
Yeah, for sure. Now, Lzuruha was looking a little bit scary because it seemed like Fraud was going to try to gank them, but Lzuruha now have their level 16 talent, so it's not as dire. They're caught up in a talent tier. They've got 2 Blood for Bloods, as well as Northern Exposure from the Jaina, so going to be making a bunch of those heroes vulnerable. We've also got Critterize, though, so polymorphed targets will also be more vulnerable. And everyone just kind of posturing. They know that the other team is thinking about boss, and the vision here favors Fraud Esports. They have that vision tower. But Fraud looking like they might want to go to the turn-in. Maybe just deciding to leave. I'm actually really interested. They've decided to leave. They're going to go pick up the coins on bottom. I think maybe they knew that at least they had a minion push up top, so if they saw the team move in there, they would know, and they did. They're on their way back already. But will we have an engagement here?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, they're gonna get 17 here, and it doesn't really matter that much as they're so close to 17. But looks like they just want to clear this minion wave to eliminate any kind of vision on the side of Lzuruha, and it looks like we're seeing just some zoning happening here. Neither team wants to engage towards that boss. They don't want to engage, period. It's not really a good time to fight. There's nothing really that they're fighting for on the map, per se, as they're not really close, like on top of boss. But we'll see what happens here.
Rightwing is pushing on bottom with those giants, but she can always phase shift in at a moment's notice if she's needed to heal. And of course, there's still the Malfury in there, so it's not so dire as to say like a healer is not there at all. But they have at least created a little bit of space for themselves by pushing those giants in. Now, thankfully for Lzuruha, they happened to be right on bot for those chests, and they're actually going to let those giants push a little bit more because they want to take the top chest. Whereas I think Fraud maybe thought, hey, they're going to turn in here, or they're trying to get a turn in of their own, but do they have enough? I guess they do, but Lzuruha is coming in. I don't know that they'll stop Bella, or oh, I don't even know if they knew they were turning in. There's the turn in, but they only need 3 more. They actually don't have enough right now. They needed 1 more and they didn't have it. If they can get kills here, then maybe, but Keepers is getting really low. He's going to Lightning Breath in, but he's going to be taken out really fast. Pyrat, very, very low, but a great Maw from Zagara is going to catch Anxiety and Hao, and that enables the team to be able to take out Tychus, and now Anxiety, Hao, and Lex Luthor are trying to run. Hao will be the next to go down. Kiefer's Anxiety and, well, Kiefer's Anxiety are still up, as Malfurion will be the next one to go down. And that was a great engagement. That Maw really helped save the day there.
Yeah, the laser almost got Illidan, but unfortunately just wasn't enough. Illidan dove in with like no health as well and still managed to escape alive. So great work by the Rhaegar on Lzuruha, keeping his teammates alive, especially Illidan. You don't want to lose Illidan in a fight early, which is the way that it looked like it was going. But definitely took a huge engagement there and ended up coming out on top. That was a, what, 4 for 1, 4 for 0 trade? I don't think they lost anyone, right?
It was a 3 for 0, yeah.
Well, no, because they lost Diablo right away, and he just respawned immediately,
that's
right? So,
that's right.
So they got 4 kills.
Oh no! Oh no, Illidan! Pyrat, you left a coin! There we go. We got it, guys. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Meanwhile, Lzuruha did grab a turn-in thanks to that awesome team fight, and they've picked up some merc camps. They're working their way till level 20. They would really love that. That would put them at a huge advantage versus Fraud, and that's what they're gonna go. And Fraud's just trying to do the same, right? They want to try to catch up in experience. They're going to push back some of these Merc camps, but doing so means that they have to once again consider the fact that it's going to be time for people to start posturing around that boss.
Yeah, and actually, what we're looking at here is Lzuruha has just... they're set up to take this boss. They had a time there when they could have at least started it, postured that they were going to really, really dive in and go for it. But we see the stage dive come in right into the Malfurion roots. The Emerald Wind will pop and knock people away, but they're still on the chase. The Maul's going to go down to Malfurion, who is actually in the middle of Tranquility there. And he's going to get nuked.
He did. He went down so fast. The Emerald Wind was really good on that for them on that bridge because they couldn't really engage into that at all. And so even though Evan on that Jaina was throwing down a ton of damage, they couldn't engage in because of that Emerald Wind. So that really at least helped save most of them. But I loved the ETC, just seeing where he was going to mosh in, throwing those roots down, or not mosh in, stage dive in, and catching him in those roots. That is hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably like so lucky, but it was still great. It was definitely worth the chuckle for sure.
I don't call it lucky. I call it great play. Thank you very much.
Great play. Well, you know, sometimes you just, you know, you have happy accidents, right? Like, ETC probably had no idea that the root was going to go down, and Malfurion probably in the same way had, like, no clue that Stage Dive was going to drop there. I think they actually cast it to actually root some other heroes, like, anticipate that they were moving towards him. And then ETC just, like, bam, right into it. So they're going to pick up that siege camp as well. They do have the boss being defended by Fraud currently.
Fraud has picked up their level 20 talents, and they didn't lose that keep. So actually, because Lzuruha lost that mid keep to some minions, they will be tied in structures. So it's not as dire for Fraud. Even though they lost a couple team fights and that boss, it's still really anyone's game. They're caught up in talents. A good team fight for them. Actually, very aggressive blink forward from Jaina. They're not really going to pay for it at all. She slows down heroes so that Illidan can catch up with them and the ETC can jump on top of them. And that was such a cool blink. Although Jaina is going to be the first to go down. Bala will go down as well. There's a couple of heroes caught in the Maw, which means they have time to try to take out Keepers, but he's going to Lightning Breath right on top of everybody. And the Maw, they will be out of the Maw. The Emerald Wind actually gets stopped. Oh no, Brightwing tried to get away now. Still healing, keeping himself and Lex alive for now, but everyone else is going to die for it. Diablo is back, but I would guess that Lzuruha is maybe going to... No, they don't want to try to engage in on this keep. Instead, they're just going to go back, collect coins. There's still one more chest that they can grab.
Yeah, they don't really need to force the issue here. They are in the lead with experience. They have had a few turn-ins. They are actually... Both teams are down to 2 forts. But they're leading in kills, which is why they do have the experience lead. And they just need to play it safe here, get some more turn-ins, let the cannons do the work on the structures, and then eventually just push core and GG. But... easier said than done, of course.
Of course. So true. Well, there is yet another turn-in for Lzuruha, and this should be a keep. Oh yeah, this top keep will go down to the barrage of Blackheart. And that's really going to make things difficult here for Fraud, because now they're going to have 2 lanes pushing with catapults, and one of them does match up versus the mid catapults that are also pushing for themselves, but they now will have to deal with that top as well, and that's something that they'll have to constantly be watching out for.
Yeah, they're going to really need to be on top of those catapults. They also need to have someone scouting that turn-in as well, maybe Brightwing, so she can like phase shift away, or just like hang out, you know, if things get a little hairy around the turn-in. But Fraud just, I don't know what they can do here. They really just need to have a team fight go their way, because it's going to buy them a lot of time to get back into the match. And look for a Wombo there in Diablo. Doesn't have Maul, it's good.
Oh no, that Maw gave them the ability to just burn Malfurion and Vala. And Fraud really wanted a team fight to go their way. They knew that Lzuruha had enough coins to turn in, so they really wanted to make that work, but unfortunately for them, everyone has gone down now on their side, except for Brightwing here, who was just biding time. And that'll be Brightwing. Now, I don't think that they're looking to turn in. I think they just want to push in here. They've just got a Diablo to deal with them. They know that there's only one keep left anyway. They have a lot of coins, but I think they're really hoping that they're going to be able to just take out this core. And before anybody is up to defend, Diablo knows it. He's just hanging out in core. That's going to be it. GG. First game's going to go to Lzuruha Gaming.
GG. And as again, fun casting as always with you, Gilly. But I'm going to have to make room for Anna now, which is completely alright by me because it's getting a little late on my end, and I do need to wake up for Storm League tomorrow. But GG to Lzuruha there, just playing dominant fashion. As I said at the beginning of the match, they had a lot of damage on their side, so no surprise that they actually were victorious here. But that said, Fraud definitely made it a heck of a game, especially not going the double healing heroics. They actually taking Emerald Win there, which I advised against, and maybe Blink would have helped them there, but I don't know. That was a lot of damage on the side, and just some great mauls like J-Curves. I think they need to ban Zagara in this next match, honestly, and just keep Zagara away from J-Curves for the rest of this best of 3, because he just, I mean, he almost did as much hero damage as Jaina. Like, that's kind of insane, right?
Yeah. Well, I think that they just really played to the map better, Lzuruha did, because even from the beginning, they had Illidan constantly roaming around, picking up camps, turning in coins just a little bit at a time, building up that bank that helped them secure earlier turn-ins. But good games. We'll have another game versus these two in just a second with Anna joining me. But before we go, where can people follow you and maybe find your other casting inimical?
Well, I'm on Twitter at InimicalGG, and I am also, I do Storm League with Gilly Tuesday and Wednesdays, and then Thursday I generally solo cast it. So tomorrow morning at 7 in the morning will be what are we on now? I think they're actually going into the semis now, the winner's bracket. I don't know, but awesome Asian scene. It's really early, but if you guys are up at that time, definitely check it out.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining me. Guys, when I come back, I will have Anna. You'll probably hear a Skype call in the middle of the music, but bear with me. We'll be back for game 2 between these awesome teams. See you soon.
See you guys.